Yep. Say it was like 1,001%, like not 1%, 1,300, 500%. The contracts went up about at the peak, from what I've seen.
Bro, it was wild right now. I had my Spotify on, and then as soon as you stopped talking, or started talking, that shit stopped immediately. And it's only because your voice played back in the phone. Nice.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Game just consolidates the rest of the day.
Yeah, most likely. That's what you did last time, after all.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was like. We'll probably just run them off on this switch, and us play 671 all day, the rest of the day. 673 at most. Man, it still wants to get crazy. Go straight to 675. Stay. Then we can snap by half.
Isn't it crazy how you hit the bottom of this shit?
What do you mean?
Let me show you. Look.
See, you know what? I kind of forgot what it was. Oh, this shit is perfect. Bro, we're competing against the robots, and I am the Terminator.
Come on now, there we go. And it gets easier, brother. It gets easier and easier from here on out.
I put myself in these things, bro. Just like every time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get into my prop account. I'm like careful, but then I see when when it goes down, I'm not. How we were playing the other day when you're just like, bro, it's down 37, 2,700. You're like, watch us go back up, and it's just like knowing that it's gonna do that, being able to predict that it's still gonna go up even though we're down X. Like I did that today. I was down 3,700, and I was like, it's still gonna go back up. And sure enough, boom, took 700 profit.
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh my god. I was like, I bought one contract, and then I was down like 500, and I was like, I'm gonna buy four more, and then sure enough, I was down 37, and I was like, it's gonna still go back up. Still went back up. I was like, you're right. It is fun. It is fun to go. I'm down 300, but I know I'm gonna get profit right now.
That's what I'm saying. When you're always dealing with a bad situation or something that's not that good, you know what I mean? If it's not just a terrible or a bad situation, if you're dealing with something that's not great, eventually you're gonna start to understand how you could turn any situation to a great situation. Pretty much.
I spent the whole like 2 weeks training on the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Watch, I was like, I'm losing, I'm losing, I'm losing, I'm losing, and I'm like, you just ask yourself why? Why am I losing? Where am I buying at? And then I just started noting everything, like what I'm doing wrong. And then I was like, okay, let me fix it now. And now let me play by my own rules. And now I'm like, oh, that's why today I was like, holy shit, I'm up 2,100.
Shit, hell yeah, bro.
You're 100% right. Figuring out why you're losing is the best way to make a path to victory consistently.
100%. 100%.
Because you're right. You're not gonna look at why you're successful.
You always you need to look at why you've messed up.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, looking at success is not fun because you're already there. You already had that accomplishment. Looking at something when you had something not go your way, but you made it go your way, and then seeing how you could have made it turn out better. It went your way. Remember, you made it go your way, but you're trying to make it even better. If you operate from that type of perspective, I mean, everything changes for you. Truly, that's what happened to me, at least.
I agree.
Okay, I mean, look at these reversal points here. It sold my other gold trade. I'm up 5,000 on the other thing. It says I'm down 14k or 10k, but all that stuff is about to go right back up to the top. So now what I'm looking for is another gold position. I made like 4 or 5k the other day. Oh, wait a second. Did it sold? It sold my oil. Wait, it sold my oil. I just realized that was the other thing that sold. Okay, wait a second. Let me go to oil then. Oh no, I didn't sell it. Where's my stop loss? Oh, down here. I wonder. So gold so far was up 800. I'm thinking we're gonna go back up with like another 2,000 on that. We're gonna make it like a lower low, you could say. On not gold, but oil. Liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Okay, what else are we gonna look at? Spy. Looks like this is gonna stop at number 10.
Is that 75?
I'm gonna hop into a 667 put around here. Okay, I bought into it. 667 put right at number 9. And then I'm gonna do something different for 10 and 11 if we get there. We'll have 3 different trades, and then we'll see how it turns out. Oh, by the way, how did Tesla turn out? Let's see if it turned out exactly how we thought it would. Go, go, go. We had crazy Tesla trades yesterday. Alright, you guys ready? Let's see. Today's Friday, so today would have been the best time to trade it.
It's Friday.
Look at this. So we traded from... This was our trade yesterday. From here to up here, then up here to down here, then here to up here. So perfect back and forth. And then we stopped, called it a day. Today you opened up down here at 380. But if I zoom out on this chart to show you guys the bigger perspective, let's see what it says here. As you can all see, This chart has nothing here, so let's go check the next chart. Okay, this chart has something here. And you fell down to the next target. You didn't hit it perfectly, so there's something we could do better here in terms of gauging where the market fell. But the tops were perfect. This was perfect. The area you just fell from was perfect. That low you just hit yesterday was perfect. And you hitting this low and running up back to here is perfect. So I could see Tesla run up higher, but this does look like it's going to fall down a little bit lower here because you did crack and break the trend. So it could be running up right now to smack it again, like the bottom of the wedge that you broke. But I'm thinking you're going to start going lower here on Tesla. This looks like another put opportunity. All right. Spy. How you doing?
Good.
So this is our first.
Ooh, so Sunday night we're running up on the futures.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's gonna gap up.
Yeah, Sunday's gonna be good.
Be playing the upside.
Yeah, I think Sunday's gonna be good. My bad. Our first.
Are we gonna hit 675? See.
Okay, you're almost at number 10 now. All right. So now I'm gonna buy some 673 puts. This is gonna be the bigger trade now. Let's go, go, go. Okay, for number 11, what we're going to do differently here is we're going to work with the contracts that are in the money now. So we're going to get something even more expensive. Again, we've already bought right beneath number 10, which is about like 20 cents, 30 cents from here. So when you're at number 11, we're going to go even closer. And we're going to wait for it to go from number like 11 to, you could say, number 9. And then we're going to sell out the rest of them at number 8. So we'll sell out some at 9 once we buy it at 11. And then sell the rest at 8 if we hold the runner or 2. Alrighty, and you hit the midpoint. This is excellent. Oh my goodness, these lines, these are probably my favorite lines now. I love how we put them on this chart here too. And then you held down here, which is where the calls were at. You did that perfectly. You ran up to here. And you're about to hit the perfect put area a little bit higher from here. But this was the exact area you didn't want to break above yesterday that we were referring to. This is very important to break above because now we can actually go up much higher to the tippity top again. But in the short term, since you hit the midpoint, I want to see some type of consolidation and pull or retracement slightly below this area here. So you didn't hit number 11 yet. Looks like it's still going to follow our number 10 idea. We'll give it a second, see if it snaps up again. I finished my schedule for you guys, so you guys can look at what my schedule is for this year and for next year. So it should be a little bit easier for you. Right now on the NinjaTrader account, I just had a bunch of buys this morning. Instead of me trying to full port with the whole account, what I started doing was buying only like 1 or 2 futures contracts. And because it's so like, it's not that much capital, but it can add up to a lot. But because it's not too much, it doesn't just margin call me all the time now. So like for example, this morning, I was at what was I at this morning? At this morning, I was at. Let me see if I can refresh this. Yeah, so this morning I was at 60,000. Right now I'm at 121K.
Holy
And it was
shit.
just trading gold 2 times and then trading MES 2 times. So right now on MES again, I am up 3,800. And my stop
Dang,
is
just
going to be to sell this tomorrow because again, I knew it was going to fall down to here. So currently you're already above my buy from yesterday because I was theorizing that if I buy yesterday night, we should be able to have another day to average down. So I bought down here on the futures and you know, you basically opened up down here, ran above it. So now those contracts are up. So we're not going to sell them today. We're planning on selling those in like a week. I was just trying to not put too much money because I was like, all right, how can we use futures to trade long term or like weekly or, you know, monthly contracts? And it's definitely possible. You just have to keep watching it.
so you don't get murdered.
Yeah, literally. All right, everybody. So the contracts we just bought for 673, we're already up 120, 10%. We were down $200 just a second ago. So you guys could put your stop loss here. Again, we fell from 10 to 9, just like how we wanted you to do for step 1. Next up is going to be to fall to number 8. My guess is since the market decided to run up too fast, it keeps doing this shit. It keeps snapping around too quickly, so it's like breaking itself. I'm thinking we're going to get a little bit more downside. It's going to have to look slightly different from last week now. Because right now it's just looking like it's the same thing. Everything is the same so far. But you still have how many hours? 12, 1, 2, 3. You still have 4.5 hours right now. Or you could just say 4. So you have 4 hours right now, right? Or you could say 3.5, I guess. It depends on how you look at the market, right? But we have plenty of time today, and I'm thinking you're gonna get some type of weird reaction to the opposing side just because of how fast you just yanked up. So let's see. Let's patiently wait here. For the first set of puts that we bought at number 9, we're still holding those as well. We're not going to average down on those until probably like 1 or 2. Just remember on the Silo Trades channel, we wrote down, Hoover, that you should put your stop losses as we're already up 10%. So you shouldn't be able to take any type of loss from here on out. Especially with the 0 days, right? Gotta be careful. Alrighty. Let's see if anything else is cheaper now. Okay, we just bought more right here. This is gonna be trade number 3. Why I keep yawning? That shit kept happening yesterday. You're getting closer and closer to my Ninja Trader stop loss. So I might just take profit here and try to see if I can snag another short-term trade in the meantime. And this is for the futures account, everybody. So let's go ahead and go to the notes and see what everybody was posting about. Let's see what you were thinking last night, Hoover. Let's see it. Let me see. We'll go one by one. One by one. One by one. Oh, brother, you can't trade today then. You know this now. That's like the rule from like last year. It's kind of like what everybody does when they join up the Discord, you know? They just take advantage. They don't fix their charts. 6 months go by. They're down 100,000 and then they tell me last second that they're down all that money. That's what happened with one of our members that just left, you know? So as long as you understand like the weight of doing that and behind those actions, like not doing notes, as long as you understand it, then all right. Let me see here. We're still inside these plays here. I'm still trying to go long on gold, but they're not letting me buy it. Unfortunately, not right now. Yeah, we're just shooting up. That was a really good trend right there. Weekly DARP. Why is weekly DARP here? Oh, this is the wrong charts, that's why. Okay, so let's go back. Endo, you said for some reason you got a 659 put for insurance today, and you're down a lot. Oh no, yeah, you shouldn't. You should not full port into puts. Remember, what did we tell everybody yesterday the market was gonna do? We told everybody the market was gonna go down lower on Friday. So Friday you want to buy a 5-day call, to 10-day call. So I would just cut everything, even if the market has an opportunity to drop here. The direction that we're looking for right now is short-term puts, like, you know, like something a little bit off the top. That's pretty much all. Kind of like yesterday, right? Just something a little bit off the bottom. But for yesterday, you kind of just wanted to hug the bottom the whole entire day. You had no type of opposing reaction. For today, since the reaction was so quick, I'm thinking you're going to get that opposing reaction, of course. But those options and that strike price might be a little too far. Yeah, nah, yeah. And Ando, is this real money? Remember, if you're down more than $100, you're supposed to have a personal one-on-one with me. So as long as you're not down more than 100, we're good. 2 days of being down more than $100, you had to paper trade for a week straight. So you're down $40 and you made 120 on the call. Excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, see, that right there is a good way to recover, you know? You don't put like too much down at first, so you can always recover. As long as you never do that, yeah, you'll always be good. And like, don't paper trade. You guys can't not paper trade, 0-day trade. You guys gotta hop into the 10-day trades, 15-day trades. I gave everybody the call out yesterday. I just didn't want to post nothing to see if anybody was listening. So for today, we're just gonna be able to see like who was the people who are, you know, doing the work. Because remember, we were planning the whole week. So today's drop was something we already talked about. So yeah, if you're new, again, don't feel bad. Like Ando, I wouldn't feel bad if I'm you. But for everybody else, just understand, I'm coming after you one by one. I'm gonna find out. Because sometimes, you know, you want to just play the aggressive short term and you don't want to hop into the 5-day because it costs too much. And, you know, you can't do that if you're going to go to $1 million. So if you're going to take that $1 million account serious that I talked about before, this is the only way to do it. If you knew better and you think you should feel bad, then remember, are you doing notes right now, Andode? It's like you're skipping around a couple things. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm letting you do it because you're new. But I'm letting you know that we have to change this like very soon. Because I remember that before you said the same thing. You said that you had known not to do something, but you had done the mistake. So if it was a planned mistake, like you don't know about it, you know it could result in a mistake and you still do it, I would understand if you were taking notes on it or you were like documenting some aspect of it to see what you could do differently so you could understand something like that. But if there's no documentation, if there's no just like back and forth, it's just resulting in gambling pretty much. So yeah, let me know how like your brain process was. I'm not going to say that you were doing something when you weren't, but we got to change this up here. So again, we're up $1,100 on the puts. We're just going to take what's called our profit. Goddamn. That moved up a little bit quicker than I expected. So again, we're going to nibble at the market right now. Oh my god, that was good profit. That was excellent. Straight down from number 10 to number 9 again. So again, we're going to let it run up to number 9 again. Not number 9, number 10 and 11. And then we're going to buy some puts. You're taking notes though. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll break it down. We'll see what you learned from it and what you could learn from the next trade, as well as what you could learn to, like, from this trade to use for tomorrow. Pretty much. Select all. Paste. Paste. Remember, I still have those puts that we bought in number 9 that I'm waiting for the market to fall lower. But if it chooses not to fall lower, I'm just going to keep scalping with a more expensive contract. And then I'm going to let my other contracts just sit while they take a beating. I'm just going to keep making money with my other account. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's usually what I do. Because, like, in theory, everybody's always going to want to not miss out on something, no matter how good you get in terms of being a trader. The reality is you can't always be there to predict everything, no matter how good you are, unless everybody, you have a system that we have which allows you to buy everything for a certain specific reason. So I'm buying 0 days, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, 100 days, all at the same time sometimes, all for different reasons. Sounds crazy, but that's the exact reality, you know? That's what I do every single day, pretty much. So we sold trade number, what trade was this? Number 3? So we bought everything for 110 and we sold everything for 149. So that was really good. Okay, so we posted that. I was fixing up some of the trades here. All right, we're about to get into another put here. Hey, Hoover, I would just wait, brother, until you do your notes, brother. Come on. Takes you around like 30 minutes. You could do it today, and then you could fix the mistake. Every single time I didn't do my notes when I was trading by myself, when I was trying to learn how to get to this level that I'm currently at right now, every time I wouldn't do it the day before, or at least the next morning, and I would trade late, and I wouldn't be thinking of nothing, I would always take a large loss every single time without fail. So let me see if you did your notes yesterday, because you could have just wrote about today, right? Did you trade yesterday? Yeah. Okay, you're at number 10 again. I'm gonna buy another set of puts. Just keep trading this back and forth. I'm gonna get 674 puts now. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna feed the wild animal here. Okay, the goal is gonna be, we bought this for 140. I'm gonna sell it for like 180. So again, I bought it for 140. I'm gonna sell it for 180. We hit number 9 last time, so if the market's trying to go lower, this would be the time where it's gonna do so. If not, hit number 8. The same way it hit number 5 yesterday. Before it ran up to number 5, it ran up to number 6. After it hit number 7, fell down to number 7 again, where we then bought another call. And you ran up to number 5 right after that. So what you're doing right here is the same thing but opposite, like not vice versa, but flipped.
Do you know the idea of the Michelangelo effect? Have you heard of this? Awesome. So the Michelangelo effect describes a situation in a relationship, friendship, or intimate partnership where each partner sees the best in the other and tries to help bring that out. So the sum of the parts is greater than it is individually. I think in life you want to be finding people that believe in you more than you believe in you, that hold you to higher standards.
I think that's the definition of a good friend. I think that's the definition of a good partner. Definition of a good husband, wife. They remind us of the best of ourselves.
Sometimes 90% of the people that I've come across, and it's not sometimes, I guess assume, or I guess I suppose, because if you think about it, if 90% of those people that I've taught, they've had this one problem. And what is that one problem? The one problem is they don't have nobody that pushes them or, forces them to be great. That's the reason why I take pride in this Discord here. That's the reason why I get so angry with the notes and why I get so angry with small things, is because I treat this as if it's, like the most important, most capable for the future in terms of a business, in terms of anybody who's our age, in terms of anybody who's changing something to a big, to a big degree. This has such capabilities to change everything around us that it's so important to take this serious. And if you're not taking it serious, eventually you're just gonna get lost in the sauce. Eventually. But it's like you could tell now, though. Like, before you go down that road, you could tell that, alright, eventually I'm gonna basically turn out this way if I don't do this. And work towards it. Like how I do last night, right? I had a bunch of people telling me that they don't know what my schedule is, or they don't know when they should contact me. So what did I do last night? I created all of this by hand. And if you guys would like to see, I was live as well. I like being live when I do boring stuff like this. But yeah, I created my schedule for all of next year. All the planes we're going to take, the Discord trips, my personal trips, the lives, the classes, the days we're going to have off because of holidays, the half days. As you guys could tell, like, I go above and beyond for you guys. But nobody goes above and beyond for me. Not saying I'm sad about it, because I'm not, I'm not going to keep being depressed about receiving something in return, which is just notes or something very simple like that, because nobody really does it at the end of the day. Like, eventually, even the best traders I had, they stop and they lose, like, their motivation and their ability to go further. I see it happen all the time, I'm telling ya. So, you guys should try to fix it. Guys should try to fix it. Come on now. The same thing with you, Chills. You don't really do notes, brother, but you trade. We can't really have that. Like, that type of stuff is not allowed around here, is what I'm trying to say. Which was the reason why I had to remove you the first time. Same thing with Hoover, right? So come on, everybody. Come on, family. Show me you really want it. I'm not here to really be friends with you guys, even though I really wanted to be friends with you guys. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to take you to the next level. I'm here to make you greater than me. That's the only reason why I'm teaching. That's the only reason why I'm here. Other than that, there's no purpose. You guys don't need another stock trading YouTuber which is selling you something that's not actually helping you. And I'm the one thing that's trying to help, but it's like nobody wants it. They literally just run towards the people who want to sell them stuff and take advantage of them. That's literally where people want to run to, and like what people want to be friends with. And I'm just like, so fuck me, basically. I'm playing, but you know what I mean. It's just like, that doesn't make any sense. How could somebody doing something right still get the short end of the stick? And then a light bulb went in my head. That's the universe's pressure. That's the universe's force. That's what made me become this great in terms of a teacher, is because I don't take excuses. I try to see if I could fix the dynamic until I realize that no matter how much you try to fix a person's dynamic, they're not going to really fix it unless they want to fix it. You know what I mean? Unless they really want to do the notes, unless they really want to become great. I'm just here to tell you that if you want to become great, you do the notes, you do this, you do that, and then boom. But yeah, nobody really follows that path, honestly. Only a few select people. Very few. Again, I'm not saying this to make you feel like you're an enemy to me or make you feel pressed or, you know, or anything. I just want you to understand. That's it. Because when I was down in the dumps and I was making stupid decisions, sometimes I needed a slap upside down the head to make me realize, like, oh shit, no, yeah. If I would have done that, and that, the results would have differed. Which means next time, I see what I could do differently. I see what I could improve. So I'm excited. Even though I lost, even though today wasn't the best, even though, you know, other people made money and I'm the only one who lost, doesn't really matter. I see what I could have improved. Those people who won, they won, but they didn't improve. So who's really winning? Come on now. Remember, chills, I'm giving you an opportunity. Everybody who's in that Discord, just in case if you guys didn't know, not a single person pays for that Discord, the second Discord, but Slug. So it's literally me trying to bring the old Discord members back into this because I'm trying to be nice and I don't want them to feel like I just deserted them because I removed them in February. So for the past 6 months, I've been messaging them and trying to get them to follow things little by little. Most of them are still trading, and I have a lot of them on my server, which, you know, costs money. People pay. But it's like the second they start paying, they start making a couple thousand and they start burning themselves out again. The same situation keeps happening over and over and over again. It's like a damn repeating cycle. So because they keep running out of capital, they can't pay for the Discord. But because I'm not trying to be an asshole, I still have them there for free. But is that really helping them, or is that just allowing them to make the same mistake? It's kind of like you have a family member that you know is a drunk, and you know every single time you give them money, he doesn't improve himself. He just buys stuff to get himself messed up. You're aiding in that person becoming worse, is what I'm trying to say. By being nice to a person, you're literally killing them. So I don't want that to be the situation here. So I'm giving you guys, again, I've said this last year was when I told everybody that was paying $50. I told everybody at that tier that you were going to have to move up to the next tier around October of 2024. And I waited till January, February before I made the last decision, before I switched it from 50 to 200 each. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was the last time we changed everything that was like massively. But just so you guys can understand, I've been trying to be nice to you guys for over a year. And I'm getting nothing in return for this. Not even the luxury of seeing you grow, because you're stopping yourself. And that's the saddest part. That's why it makes me so sad to even speak up, because I know I'm going to hurt people's feelings. But it's like they're hurting their own feelings before I do it. And I would much rather kind of like hit them with one little, you know, like impactful statement or phrase or thing so that they could realize what's going on, so they could just stop self-sabotaging themselves. That's all it is. So again, everybody, there's no excuses. Every time I ask about notes, I always hear something. But again, it doesn't really matter. I had people in here that were hospitalized, that were still doing notes and still trading and still getting things done. Come on now. I know you guys could do this. Don't play with me. I know. Because I would be the person to play with everybody when I was younger. I would always lie and always wait and always, you know, procrastinate and always... It was just a bunch of nonsensical garbage, which is exactly why I wasn't going nowhere in life. The second I started having meaning and value, and the second I started looking for something that actually, you know, gave me love without it being forced or me trying to, you know, squeeze it so it comes back to me. The second I stopped doing that, it's like everything became and looked like how it once did when I was a kid. Very joyful, very, you know, free. Lots of opportunities as far as the eye can see. that rhymed. That was perfect. Nah, but yeah. Opportunities, they're everywhere. The opportunities to travel, the opportunity to, you know, leave your house, go across the world and trade. The opportunity to see any homeless person and make so much money that you can create an environment for them where they instantly can change, you know, and kind of like what is the damn word for it? Kind of like, you know how you get back into society type of thing. They just need a community. You want to learn how to stop drug addicts? You literally give them a community. Are they going to be able to get a community out of thin air which really loves them and cares for them? Of course no. That's a lot of hard work. That right there is the hardest thing. It's not the money. It's not building a place for them to sleep. It's putting people in their lives which are not going to want to leave them. And they're going to want to help them. That's how you help every homeless person in the world, drug addict or not. That's it. So if the solution is so easy, why isn't there being a change being made? Is because people's pockets are getting loaded to keep the situation as is. 70% of all money that goes into shelters or homeless, I already did the research for this. In terms of the US government, 70% of it, maybe even higher, goes to paying people. It doesn't even actually go to, you know, the actual people. Did you guys know that damn Make-A-Wish Foundation, look at how much money from Make-A-Wish goes into actually helping people. Nobody wants to help people. Everybody's taking advantage, just like the damn stock trading YouTubers, just like the damn people on Discord, just like the people everywhere. It's like everybody's just, you know, trying to screw everybody. And I'm looking at this like, bro, come on. Like, what is this? What is this world coming to? Look at this. Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make up donation makeup. Let me see. I don't even know how to fucking word myself right now. Make-A-Wish Donation Fund or Make-A-Wish Foundation. Averaging, let me see. I'm gonna find the report. Let me see, Make-A-Wish. Let's go here, copy this, go straight to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, find me articles. And let's go read this real quick while we go back to the spy charts and wait. It's crazy when I type, my brain formalizes ideas and concepts better than when I'm speaking out loud. It's actually so perfect. Okay, so yeah, it says even right here. It says yes. There's been many concerns over the past couple years over X amount of cents, like on the dollar, that goes into actually helping out the kids instead of paying the workers. It's just dotting around the question. I feel like ChatGPT is not going to give us the answer. Basically, the idea was, it's simple. Most of the money that they're getting for that fund, about 70% to about 90%, it was like an awful, it was an awful number. Such an awful number that shit still stuck with me till now. It was like probably worse than 70%. I'm just trying to be nice because I don't know the actual number. I can't find it right now. But I think that shit was like 90% of everything they make goes into the actual company, and like 10 to 1% goes into actually helping kids, which is ridiculous, right? But that's what happens all around us. That's what everybody's doing all around us. And unless everybody has or starts having some type of, level of morale, I mean, this is not going to change. That's the reason why when I, again, talk about notes and all this other stuff, I know it's annoying, but there's reasons behind it. Reasons behind everything I do, ladies and gentlemen. Number 12 is coming in close. Get ready. I might sell the futures trade here. We're up around 20K. We might start trading with the Top Step account right now, but I think I might just wait, just in case. I like trading with that when the market's closed. When the market's open, tends to be a little chaotic when it comes to futures trading on Top Step. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. Come on now. Where's the music at? That damn SpongeBob song is stuck in my head. I forgot the YouTube can hear the voice. Shit. They better not give me copyright for that. They got me again. 671. That's where SPY might fall down to. 671. So you've hit number 11 now, just like yesterday. Once you hit number 11, straight to number 8. So now I want to see us fall straight down. This is going to be a very easy trade. Just bang to bang. And then once we hit number 8, we're going to buy some calls. If you hold on top. Try to see if we could play the flip. A little tiny flip. That's all we're looking for. The first trade today, we're still holding it. The second trade, we sold for 10%. The third trade was 25%. With the second and third trade, in terms of how much we made, we paid back for everything from today, as well as everything from last week with the cheap accounts. The only thing we had to make back is going to be the last trade from yesterday. We'll work on that one towards 2 o'clock so we can have some fun here. So we're not just rushing everything. For now, I just want to have some small back and forths. Back and forth, you know what I mean? The $1 million account is up 1,000%, everybody. So the next thing I want to work on with you guys is taking this $1 million account, because we pretty much passed the first week with flying colors. Next week, I want to see what we could do differently so that we can make it even better. So instead of just going from $4 to $50, basically instead of just going from $50 to $600 next week, that's basically the same percent as this week. Next week, I want to see if we can go from $50 to like $5,000 within 5 days. So let's see if we can, fix something or look at something, realize something. There's something there. I know it's there. The answer is always hidden in the trade itself as to how you could get better. So we're going to hunt that thing down, and boom. I also haven't drank water all day. Everybody give me one moment. Let me just get some water real quick. I want to show you guys something real quick. Did you guys see the screen yet? I want to ask you guys a question. What's happening here? So did this work out? Is what I'm trying to ask. We made this when you hit this high and this low. So all these days after the 7th, we've basically were predicting with this here, these boxes. So again, with this low and that high up here, we knew that the market was going to run up to this 1/4 point and fall, which you did fall straight down, just like how you fell from last week. So this is, perfectly working out for us. And then when you fell towards the bottom here, you did hit the no man's point. You fell below the red point. So the puts, of course, you only could have played them pre-market, but they did work out as well. You hit this area and fell down lower. And then right next to the call area, usually this one would be like this. So you would have hit the call area. It's just when we made them, I only made one at the bottom and one at the top, as you can tell. But every other buying point, the circle was a little bit above the line. So if I did the same thing down here, let me show you what it would have looked like. I don't like to just say something just to make it seem like what we did was good enough. Because like I said, that's not going to improve me. That's not going to help me. But if I can make myself wrong and I can see what I could do better, that's going to improve me. That's how you have to think. But that's how it would have looked if we finished the bottom here. But yeah, it's okay. Sometimes you don't finish it. Sometimes some of your trading styles or your charts are not going to be done all the way. And it's okay. Did you have the idea? Did it work out from how we normally play it? And the answer is yes. You even worked out perfectly on the 1/4 point here. So am I going to feel bad about not getting into a trade or missing it? The answer is no, because it worked out. Of course, next week is going to work out differently. It's going to be a whole different list of, you know, specific elements that we had to pay attention to. However, you're also at the 1/2 point, which is from the top to bottom. So I could see you selling off right back down to the 1/8 point real quick. It's so crazy because you did the same move as over here. Does everybody see that? You hit the 1/8 point up here, fell down, you hit the 1/8 point down here, right back to the middle up here. Now we're going to rotate back down to here. Once we hit the 1/8 point, we're then going to buy into a 5 to 10 day call. It's just I know they're going to get shredded here, so I'm waiting for that to occur. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, but you see how we ran up $11, $12 from the bottom here? If you can manage to buy the contracts later that day and you could wait, sometimes you actually get a better buy up here than down there. So that's what we're testing right now. In terms of like me personally, like in the background, that's what I'm currently testing. And then we also bought calls yesterday at the bottom down here. And then we told everybody on the Discord, we didn't post their trade, but we told them to hop into the call. So later today, we're going to see who hopped into the calls and who's like basically waiting for the 5 to 10 day plays. And then we'll go from there. Because then we'll be done with that I had planned. That's also done. And then that's going to be done. So then we can start moving on to what I've been planning for December. We could do it a little bit earlier. You guys pretty much would have learned all the characteristics and steps for that. So yeah, that would have been done. What's today? Today's Friday, right? So yeah, we'll start on Monday. We'll start doing what we're going to be doing on December. And hopefully by the end of December, we'll be fixing stuff for next year, December. By the way, that's also why I fixed my schedule. I think all of you should do the same thing. Fix your schedule. I'm going to give you a outline so you could do it, where it just shows you the days of the week. And then what I want you to do is I want you to tell me all the days where me and you could speak in terms of a schedule. And I want you to write this down. For going into the future here, anybody that joins the Discord, they're just going to have to send me this. They're going to have to fill it out and send it to me, so I know what times I could speak to them. So we don't have to have a bunch of situations where people are not showing up, you know? Unless, you know, they give me a reason, then of course it's fine. It happens. Okay. What else can we do here? The Tesla trade that we were going to get into earlier. Let me turn off this heat. Let me get water. I'm dying right now. I haven't drank one thing since the morning. Give me 1 second. We're looking for downside right now, by the way. That water was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hit that turbo mode. You guys remember what I used to say last year? Do you? What I used to say was something very simple. You guys ready to hear it? I know you're probably like, say it! Gotta turn the volume up, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Everybody in this world got low volume. Everybody in this world got low enthusiasm, low want, low belief, low dreams. But the only thing they could do is talk about their low environment. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about what's going to change that environment. Talk about how you're going to go from A to B. Everybody always wants to talk about their ideas. Again, everybody wants to always act like they're fine. Until that one moment hits and they're anything but fine. So what I'm trying to say to you is, don't act too prideful in any situation. Act with logical, behaviors, with logical thoughts, with common sense. And that common sense is... Say that again, Hoover?
To control the emotion.
No, yeah, exactly.
Chemical imbalances in the brain that cause us to make unlogical decisions.
I mean, what are causing those chemical imbalances? I guess we could start with...
I would say the habit of thinking, or like you were saying, to talk about things and constantly, continuously just talking about things instead of reinforcing the habit of actually doing things that you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
The habit of actually doing more and thinking about more instead of thinking about the problems on hand.
Correct.
Instead of reinforcing your past and creating your past in your future because of your emotional imbalances that are tied to the past event. I'm reading about this right now, actually. Very important for psychology and the way we think about and go about our daily lives.
100%.
I would say the book I'm reading it from is How to Become Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I think I own that one. I never read it, though.
He's a neuroscientist. I guess you could say he's one of those gurus, if you're into that woo-woo, but he takes it to a whole nother level with his like ECG readings, brain scans, and
Mm-hmm.
mentorship programs that he actually gets, results from people who actually, reinforce the better habits, reinforce the better thought patterns. Instead of, when you fall into that rut, you reinforce, the bad habits, reinforce the bad feelings because it's a lot easier because you're already feeling that way.
Exactly. Because, like, in most cases, like, I know it's a pattern, bro. Everything's a pattern in life. Everything's a pattern. If you're a criminal and you get locked up, in most cases, it's like some of those people are wrongly locked up, of course. You have that situation unfold. But you have a lot of those people that they can't return to normal civilian life. Of course, some of the reason is because of a record, but you have a bunch of other people who do it and who get it done. So what that means is that somebody broke their patterns. There's something that's a cage, something that's holding them down, whether it's experience, whether it's knowing and understanding that you could do something in which you then do it, because that's usually most of the problem. It's like people don't have enough information. It's kind of like with college, right? As a kid, you don't really know what you want to do, and then you start switching from class to class to class to class. It's a pattern. So when you become a grown-up, it's the same thing. It doesn't change unless something causes you to see differently or break it, or explain to you personally, this is what you got to do differently. And I had somebody do that to me. I had a teacher do that to me once. He said, cut the bullshit, bro. I see exactly what you're doing. You came into the school, absolutely phenomenal. And then look what you're doing now. Cutting corners every single chance you get. Do you want to become like everybody else who ends up doing nothing with their life? Do you want to become like me, where I don't make nothing per year, and I had to deal with rowdy, individuals? And he told me, he said, I do this because I love it. That's why I teach. And I'm not going to let you go down that hole unless you're going to sit here and tell me that that's what you want to do. And I told him, that's not what I want to do. Honestly. I said, you know what? I just realized that. You're right. I was just completely talking. I was always just yapping about what I could do. And I wasn't doing it. And I had nobody to ever tell me that. Not my family. Nobody believed in me. That's why I sit here, and the way I teach you guys is to tell you guys, if I see something that makes me believe in you, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to vocalize that. I'm also going to vocalize that you guys are playing with yourselves. That this is what you got to do to change. I guess the way I say it is not going to be as constructive as someone who's a teacher for over 20 years. It's a little, I guess, maybe aggressive in some cases. But it's because I'm so, like, happy that I found what could change a person and what could make them better. I'm kind of, like, aggressively attacking it. So when I respond to the person and I tell them that, that's the only problem that we have to fix right now in terms of me being a teacher. But that's why I do that. It's because that's what happened to me, and that's what changed with me, and that's what helped me when I was growing up. I still think about that till now. When I was 17 years old, if it wasn't for that man, I would have probably never done what I've done, honestly. Because as soon as that happened, I started doing the clothing. I started taking the YouTube stuff serious. I started editing. I got a camera. I started going crazy. That's all you had to do, by the way. You had to realize that, all right, you made a problem. You made a decision. It wasn't the best decision. You were lazy. You were procrastinating. You were trying to, do what you've been doing before. Because we all know what we currently do. But you had to realize if you're trying to do something new and different, you instantly stop doing what you're currently doing right now. You have a complete shift in schedule. You wake up different. You go to sleep different times. You had to, like, literally shake yourself up. And as long as you could do that, yeah, you always have an opportunity to change yourself, You won't get stuck. Or at least you'll get stuck for a couple weeks. But then by the time that next month comes, because of your checklist and how you go about your daily life in terms of living and what's really meaningful to you as a person, you can, 4 weeks in, find, all right, shit, I didn't even notice this. But I'm stuck right now. I'm actually stuck. You know how many times I've done that? And I was like, wait a second. I find myself in the birdcage again. I thought I let myself out already. I thought I already bent the bars. I already solved this issue as to why I was in this cage in the first place. I hunted down that subconscious, reason. Now what's stopping me now? And if that's how people are supposed to progress in life, I could see why 99% of people don't progress. Because it's not easy, actually. Because you have to deal with spiritual warfare in terms of your understanding as to the fact that you're only on this planet for a couple years, but spiritually you're alive eternally, right? So a lot of people, what they don't understand is that they misuse this experience on this earth, and by the time they pass and they're in the afterlife, they're going to be face palming and smacking their face the whole time. Of course, they're going to, become aware of it. They're going to get used to it. And they're going to become content with it, which is what happens with everybody. And they might get another opportunity, right? To have a physical human body. Because remember, there's characteristics that you have down here that you won't have in the afterlife. That's the reason why it's, so important for this to be separate. Because everything is separate. Everything is an experience. It's like everything is a journey. Even after this journey's done, you have another journey, right? Most people don't believe it, but I like believing in stuff that gives the little childhood version of me hope and gives me a fun experience, Whatever that childhood version of me says is right in terms of experience, in terms of having fun, I'm listening to it. And again, it's not going to be something illogical and something that, a child would think. What I'm referring to is that innocent child that doesn't know anything that's bad, that doesn't do anything that's bad, doesn't say anything that's bad. That child that just wanted to become a superhero, right? If you're looking at that and you're operating with that as your pendulum in terms of your decision making, everything changes, The world around you starts to melt into these colors that you didn't see for a long time. Life felt mundane, dry, and boring. And just with a sudden change of thought, it seems like what it once was. And again, that's how it always is. So, you guys got to hunt down that thing that's making you stuck. And you got to instantly eliminate it from your life. And also realize that you only have a certain amount of time on this planet. So, you got to use it. Don't worry about what's bad. That's what everybody does. Worry about how you're going to make this like a final, experience where you go out with a bang, right? Because then in the afterlife, shit, you're gonna be watching it, replaying what you did, what your life was, how awesome it was. You're gonna watch that one part 1,000 times over and over again. You're gonna be like, yeah, I did that. That was me who really did that. You know, I completed that. I got to that level when nobody else wanted to. Not because they couldn't, but because of want. That's what separates every single person. Want and repetition. You gotta want something, and you gotta be able to repeat some type of, you know, formula where it's consistently on top of your mind. Just like with the stock trading, just like with charting, just like with all the stuff that we currently do here. We repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Sometimes we delete it and then just keep repeating it and just keep adding new stuff, updating it, deleting it again, testing to see if we could make it out of thin air once more without looking at any other videos or, you know, any other, you know, things, so that we could just completely be able to make this stuff. Let's just say if I have and I hold something which is going to be very dear to me in the near future here. The Trading Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. Every year I want to hold the Trading Olympics where we go from country to country and we go from state to state, and we're going to be challenging the world's best traders for $1 million is the idea. So we're going to have a few events around the world, and then once we get done with those events, of course, we're going to choose the winner. And then that's just going to be for one market. You're then going to have the crypto event. You're going to have the futures event. You're going to have the options trading event. The stock trading event. You're going to have the event, which is like event contracts, right? Because that's its own little separate conundrum now. And with all that being said, that's about 5 to 6 different things. I want to, you know, make sure you guys understand that this is happening and it's going to happen. I always wanted to create like something like a game show or, you know, like an event where a bunch of people just watch it every year or every, you know, couple years. But I'm thinking we could do this every year. Shit, we might even be able to do this like twice a year. Maybe once the first year and then twice, maybe 3 times the next year. Depending on how popular it is, right? And I'm thinking we go to random countries, we put people on islands. Like that would be like season 2, where somebody's on an island, like a whole group of like 10, 20 people. And the quicker you are to leave the island, the more money you make. So like number 1 wins $1 million. Number 2 wins 500K. Number 3 wins like 250K. Then it drops down to like 175, right? Then it keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. Most of you might think that this is, it's actually a Wade scenario if you think about it. Because think about it. If the person who left the island first made $1 million, wasn't prepared, or they weren't supposed to be at that level, you know what's going to happen to that $1 million? Exactly. It's all going to go bye-bye. But that person who stayed on the island the longest and made the lowest amount of money because they left last, they're going to gain the most experience. So they're going to be able to easily turn any account into $1 million. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's a fun little situation. That would be perfect for like a show. Like a real life show. Have camera crews and all that. Since I already know about camera editing and I have a bunch of friends that do camera editing, it would be very easy to create our whole entire like studio just for this. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to create that studio, which is going to create real movies. It's going to actually be the one thing that creates this. If not, I might just put it under my stock trading business. But then again, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to put it under something else, which is separate, if we do events. Especially because we're going to do a Hawaii event within the next 2 months here. After I leave to Japan in December. in January, towards the end of January, we're gonna hold a little event over there. It's gonna only be like not too many people, only like 100, 500. Yeah, you can pull up, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, so right. Hell yeah. So the end of November was when we were gonna buy everything. Yeah. That's all good, brother. I'll show you guys later on. Actually, let me see if I still have, if I have the links up right now. I'll show you guys what I was looking at before, so you guys could see generally how this is gonna take place. It's gonna be about a 5-day event. We're gonna be there for around 10 days, right? So it's gonna be 5 like days where we're gonna have events because that shit is expensive. I need to pay around 5K per day. So I was thinking about just paying around like either 20 to 25K. And then I'm going to figure out the food situation. I haven't added that up yet. I need to see how much that's going to come up to. Once I figure out the food situation, because I'm thinking everybody's going to make the money to get there. I'm going to teach them how to make the money so that they can get there. And then when we're there, we just got to worry about the hotel, which everything's going to come up to for 2 weeks. It's usually around 2,000, like 500 for the hotel, flight, and the returning flight. So with the food on the trip and all the activities we're gonna do, it'll probably be less than 1,000, honestly. Because I'm not really a big buyer. I don't really go crazy buying stuff. So we're gonna go to regular restaurants, nothing too crazy and over the top. At least not yet, not the first year or the first time we go on a trip together. There's no need for that, you know what I mean? So we're gonna have something that's maybe not the best, but it's able to get the the ball rolling, let's just say. And then what I'm thinking about doing is we're gonna have some Hawaiians from the island, and we're gonna have at least half of the members that are on that board or in that room are gonna be required to be Hawaiian, because I really want to help the island out. The U.S. citizens, in terms of the mainland U.S., because there's a bunch of territories. But in terms of the U.S., people go over there and just take advantage. So yeah, I kind of want to help out if I can, especially if I want to buy a house there. I want to be able to help them buy 5 houses if I could buy 1. The third purpose, right? Because the first purpose is to stress ourselves out, to do something that's fun, fly somewhere that's nice, and have an event. That's the first purpose. Second purpose is to help the Hawaiians. Third purpose is going to be that if I could teach you in person, you're going to gain years of experience within a day. Because you're going to see exactly what my hands do, exactly what my brain is thinking, exactly what my eyes are doing, as if you are in the room with me. That's really what I want to do. Most people are scared of doing that, but I'm sure you understand why. It's because they are not really real traders. They don't really understand this market. I'm so done with creating trading styles at this point that event will literally allow me to teach you guys so fast and get you guys back to the point that which I'm currently at in terms of trading styles, because everybody's currently on number 5 or number 10. Right now I'm on number 100. So if I could have an event that allows people to catch up, it would give me more reasons to just go further in terms of our backbone understanding of what the market's doing. What I'm trying to say is the level that I got to in order for me to create these trading styles, I'm trying to push that to be able to potentially create something even better. Maybe something's out there, And I'm starting to notice that there's less of a push on my end because I'm nearing kind of like a final level, honestly. So that's how I feel. A lot of other people don't feel like that. If I could feel like that, I'm going to teach this because I know it's going to help people. I know it's not me disassociating. I know it's not me feeling like an imposter no more, like how I did my first year, second year, right? now I really love this. Now I really live and breathe this. So that's the reason why I want to do these events, because you guys are going to see. And we're going to hold everything live. We're going to record it. Again, we're going to have a little camera crew in Hawaii when we go there in January. It's only going to cost around $2,000 for that. So the camera crew is going to be pretty cheap. The only problem is I had to pay for their flights. But working like that whole entire span of that event is just going to be around $2K, so it's not too bad. For the actual event, like for the buildings, is around 25 plus 2, that's 27. For the activities and me doing stuff and having the whole group come along in like 2 or 3 cars, because we're going to have to pay for a couple cars. The cars are going to be about 200 a day, so it's going to be about like 2,000 a pop. So it'll be about like 6K for that. So again, that's 25 plus 8, 33. So I'm going to have to pay around 33K for this so far. Plus the food is probably not going to come up to like more than another 10,000. So I'll probably have to pay like 40 to like 43K. But I'll see if I can make it cheaper. I'll try. And I'm also trying to see if I can have, the thing is this. This is the thing, right? This is what I'm planning right now. If I finish what I'm doing in terms of fixing up the Discord, meaning in terms of it ethically being right for a person to join the Discord, the streamlined nature of the Discord is there, the simplification of the Discord is there, they can go from style to style to style without me having one-on-ones with them. Once I can get it to that point, which is currently at right now, what I was thinking was I could then start marketing the Discord, right? Get as much people to join as possible. See how their, like their situation unfolds. And if I can get enough people to join by January, in theory, I could then use that LLC, because that's the only one that's the oldest, to then potentially be able to get a loan where it's not, I don't have to pay taxes on it, so it's going to help me. Or I could just pay the whole entire amount on that account with that credit card or that whatever business account, and be able to get that back on my taxes. So I'm trying to see exactly what I could do here, because if I could get it back on my taxes, you guys know what I'm going to do with that, right? We're going to have another event, and we're just going to keep doing it over and over, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just put it on the business card. So yeah, that's the main goal right now in terms of like the short term of this community. I already have the business open. I have the credit card. I have the bank account. Next up is allowing this business to profit, like any normal business needs to. So everything is fixed now. Everything is good now. My schedule is done now. We have our schedule for next year. So let me think. What is going to allow me to start posting like crazy right now? Because that's the reason why I won't post any trades on any other platform right now. The main reason, of course, is to not grow, because there's no need for people to join when it's kind of like repairs are undergoing, like, or taking part, whatever you call it. Like there's currently repairs. So when like repairs are happening, you don't sleep in your house when it's being repaired. You know what I mean? So like, why would people pay for something when it's being prepared? Besides the people who are already there, who have to pay for rent. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. That was a good analogy, I'm not going to lie. Let's change the music. Let's put this on. Okay, so we're done with the schedule. What is this going to be? This was supposed to be for my social media post, but we don't have to do that right now. This is what we have to do next. So you guys have... Actually, should I do this right now? What's important? Not to have all trading styles so you guys could choose from, at least not yet when you first join. I think the most important thing to do here is to fix this here. Yeah, let me fix this. Once I fix this, then everybody can have some type of step-by-step system where they could see the functionality behind the consistency of compounding, right? Like what can you make when you compound with a small account? Just like how we turned $4 to $50 within 3 days. I want to show these individuals the second that they join, this is what you could do. This is what we do. What is your goal now? Type of thing. You know what I mean? I think that's a nice situation for people. All right, so this is how we're going to fix this. We're going to take all this. Just like this. And this has a balance section here, which is perfect. This is notes. That's perfect. This needs a balance section here now. So what we're going to do is we're going to press, oh my God, whoops, shift right down here, right click, copy. And then how much spaces should I move it over? Because I got to have a balance right here. And then this has to have a balance on it too, right? So that's already one. So I got to shift it over twice. So paste it over here. Well, what is happening? Let me see. Let me go from over here and then shift. That should work. Copy. And then you go here and then paste. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to work. Okay, so that's one over. Now we have a balance thing here, balance thing here. Now we're going to push a one over once more. So go right here. Click this, the box. Push it over again. All right, now we got to do the same thing for the right side here. Violation. I'll fix that later. It's all good. Okay, so now we got to push this stuff over here to the right side. So copy it. Click this, paste it. Is that big enough? You need one more. Click this here. Paste it again. Boom, boom. All right, excellent. Now that's all good. First thing is to now write down this. I might as well just fix this right now, you know what I mean? Screw it. I kind of want to have the note, the balance be right there. And then this. I kind of want this to be there. Okay, so this is balance. Balance is going to be the closest. Wait, put that down. Yeah. And again, this is for you guys. So if I'm putting the time into making this and you guys are putting the time into watching me make this, make sure you don't make it go to waste, okay? I know you don't need me telling you that, but I would just like to mention it. All right, I need some more spaces on the right side over here. Okay. So now we could put notes here. There we go. So now this is all done. This is what you're going to use as a new trader just joining the Discord. Every day is notes, and every day is your balance. Obviously, this is split. So the left side is different from the right, right? Left side is November. Right side is going into December. So, of course, just pay attention to the days. And, yeah. This is now perfect now. So it's done. All right. What is this? Why does this say error? What's going on here? I might just leave it like that. Honestly, it doesn't really make a big of a difference. And I can't really figure it out. I just don't like how all this is like red here. Wait, is it red because I need to... I was about to say move it over? Why is it like that? Maybe I'll find somebody who knows Excel and ask them. All right, so this is done now. We'll leave it like this. We'll then copy and paste this to send it to everybody. I'm then gonna just fix this here. Did I finish this? I don't think I finished this. I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah, I didn't. So this is excellent. So this is what I'm gonna do. Since I didn't finish this, this is gonna be very easy for me to fix this as well. I'm just gonna fix it the same way I fixed the other one, which is the $1 million one. So boom, both of those are gonna be fixed today. What else can we put on our to-do list? This is done. Chart number. We could put an X here. We don't have to have a number there. And we'll put this to the right. Okay, so that's now all filled in with information linked to class. There's no classes for February 7th diagonal. Yeah, there's no extra classes for that. This is for one-on-ones, so let me write this down. One-on-ones. This diagonal chart. It's just an extra chart, pretty much. Okay, so now this box is completely done. Wait, true layout. This one down here is generation 4, which be fixed in 2 years time. So in 2 years from now, that's when we're going to be working on generation 4 because of how complex it is. It basically works on realistic stuff that exists in nature. Birds, fish, frogs, grass, wind patterns, current patterns, everything you could think of. But it's like realistic stuff that exists in the world, and then we're putting it into the stock market is the idea. Which is how I created one of my styles. So we're going to be doing that for the last one. And by the way, that style is so insane that I can't even use it now because of how much it works. If you guys didn't know, I don't use the best styles. I don't know if you guys didn't know that. Every time I find a style that's really good, I don't use it, which is why we don't use supply and demand zones no more like that. Which is this one here. Wherever it's at. This one. So like, for example, this morning, when you opened up, you pretty much, when you hit a yellow zone and you hold on it, you could buy calls to the next purple. And if you go straight through that purple, you could buy calls on top of it. If you guys look at where this market is falling down to right now, where is it falling down to? The purple. Come on now. It wasn't supposed to fall this quick though. I thought we were close. I thought we were close to the end of the day. If it falls now, this is gonna literally, yeah. All right, we're up $4,000 right now. 60%. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, everybody. Just patience. I'm telling ya. Yesterday we didn't get the move. Today we finally got it, and now we're getting some extra capital here. Up another 4% right there. Another $400. Another 200 right. Oh my goodness. Diamonds all in my 69% now. 71%. I'm up 4,000 now. All right, we're selling here. We're just gonna take profit. Da, 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 da. Come on now, everybody. That was amazing. That was phenomenal. Beautiful. So again, that was our 4th trade today. It was a smashing hit, and then we have another trade, which is the cheap one on the $1 million account that we're waiting for. Diamonds on. Come on. There you go. That was a nice little snap. All right, everybody. Everybody! We sold. We're gone. We're now going to wait for our other play that we held from earlier. And we're just going to go from there. That's all we got to do at this point. We got rid of everything for 81%, $4,640. So we pretty much made back everything from yesterday, even though we weren't on intending on making it now. It's fine, I guess. We'll just try to see if we can make a little bit more now to make it worth it. All right, everybody, give me 1 second. Let me post about this. Slug made 4,000 right there. Excellent, Slug. So we sold trade number 4 for 81%. Only because we forgot about it and we were talking about other stuff. I kid you not. If I was paying attention to that, I would have sold it before. Because I was looking for something way smaller than that. I wasn't looking for 4K right there. Because that was almost $5,000. Plus the first win, that's over 5K. Next trade, if we run up here, I'm just going to buy more puts again. Because you should be at number 8 right now on the reversal points. Yeah, see how you fell down to number 8 perfectly, everybody? Come on now. We knew it. Come on now. Who's the best in the world, ladies and gentlemen? Come on. Let me hear it. It's us. Without a shadow of a doubt. You said we'll work on today's notes later? Excellent. Telling you guys, my dream is to become the best teacher in the world. In fact, I don't know if you were able to tell this, but just with teaching in this small little time that we're here on this planet, I would definitely make the decision to teach for all of eternity. That's 100%. Because you could teach anything. Once you could teach one thing, it's like your field of view, your horizon is just so wide that you never will be able to look at the whole thing just facing straight on, you know? Meaning, success is going to be everywhere. Of course. Of course, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story of how we became the best in the world. Through the ups and downs. the one thing is, definitely certain that we concluded yesterday, which was, this is just the start, Now that I finally finished the Discords, now that this is finally done after 2 years, all the information is organized, it's over. There's nobody more prepared than what we are, It's impossible. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Take it serious. Believe it the same way I do. See it the same way I do. Don't let it go over your head. Don't be blind. Because there most certainly won't be another chance like this. There's only a window of opportunity. And we got to take advantage of this as a crew, as a unit, as a community. We'll let everybody else just be noisy. And again, we'll just keep turning up the volume just a little bit more. That's all we have to do. I'm about to buy more puts here if this can go up a little bit more. I'm trying to get a cheap price. Come on, Spy. You said through the ups and downs? Nah. I guess it depends on your perspective, right? Like, how do you view just everything around you, right? Like, how do you view the market, life, family? The way I view the market is... It's kind of like a funny little conundrum, I would say. It's like, when you're trying to ride a bike when you're 9 years old and there's that one hill that you love going down, but like you're not going down it for 10 hours a day. Sometimes you're only going down it for like 3 or 4. But the idea is that you know how to ride a bike. You never forgot. You know the same lane. You know the same path. You know the same people who wave and say hi. You know the same buildings. You know the same air. You know the same cars. You know the same dogs, the same jobs, the same fire hydrants. What I'm trying to say to you is, I've done this so many times that it's the same thing as me riding a bike when I was 9 years old now through the city. And it's not something challenging. I don't get frustrated. I could have 100K in this market and be down 98K, and I'll somehow find a way. Whether it's selling that for a loss and taking 1K to 10, and 10 to 15, 15 to 30, and then 30 to 100, it doesn't really matter. That's just how my brain thinks. It's never over. I did get emotional and get anxious and flail and scream and cry, and I did do that. But what I realized was there was a moment where I was really motivated. I had only around $10 to $20, I took that to 1,000 within 6 trades throughout the week. And when I did that, I was like, all that frustrating nonsense of me not understanding what was going on was irrelevant. I was being frustrated and I was saying all those words and crying and being emotional. All that was for no reason. I was just wasting energy. And when I realized that, it felt more disrespected than... I felt more disrespected in that than somebody going up to me and spitting on me. Like, when I realized that, I felt so disrespected with my own actions upon myself that I decided to change everything. That was the idea. So, I just completely ripped myself emotionally. I said, all right, this is not how we're going to do things no more. If I'm going to do things like that again, I'm going to break my own arm. Purposely. That's the rule that I had to abide by now. I'm going to go to the extremes to make sure that I change. Because I really want it, you know? But yeah, that's just how it was for me. So yeah, there's no ups and downs in terms of the stock market. There's really just the need to maximize like all the skill points. Like it's a game, right? We got to maximize the skill tree. We got to put all of our points, since one thing is already maxed out, which is the stock trading ability, the money making ability, the financial understanding of how this world is structured. Now we can move on to something else and just start spamming it with a bunch of skill points. And that next thing, that's something else, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be something very, very simple, something kind of corny, but it makes a lot of sense. That something else is going to be your health, right? So once we finish the stock trading stuff, I believe we still need to work on something that's, very close to us, and that's our health, right? Fix your health care, get your life insurance policy, make sure that you have unlimited capital just in case anything happens. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to come to the rescue. So if you're not prepared for that, I could tell why you're not going to trade perfectly. Because a trader is not going to trade perfectly unless everything is perfect. You see? That was the only reason why I did that perfect when I first started. Because everything was perfect for me at the time. I was 21 years old with a car that I was paying for. I was wasting a shit ton of capital per month, but I was making a good amount. And I had enough capital to trade, $500 contracts, $300. Took that to 3K. Took the 3K then to 100K within a month. And I then lost it all. The reason why I lost it all was because, again, everybody, I made the mistake that we all make. I try to help others when I wasn't settled yet. I wasn't prepared to help yet. And I just went straight into helping. Once I realized I could make that money. The only problem was there was no structure in terms of the Discord, in terms of ideas, in terms of, different little relevant factors that would turn a person into a beginner, or from a beginner to a professional, you could say, or turn a beginner into a person who was able to make 100K from 3K. Because at that point I was doing it for around a year, but I was doing just stock trading. Options that was the first month. And I think you guys could do the same thing. Again, that's the only reason why I bring up the first time I ever traded, is because if that's how it turned out to be, if that's how it turned out to be, right, where I could turn 3K to 100K and I was a beginner, I know you guys, I see the potential. It makes me almost cry sometimes, because I'm just yo, yeah, I should be able to make 300, 400K. Somebody's going to break my record. Watch, we're going to have some person that's 21 years old. So far, there was nobody I've ever seen in the near vicinity, besides kids that were online, that have broken that record. Specifically with options trading, not with crypto. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody to break that record. That's why with Prime, how old are you right now? if you don't mind saying it to the group. I think I remember, but I don't know if it's the case. I think. Yeah, when's your birthday? You don't have to tell me the exact date. You can just tell me the month. Next July? Yeah, I think you would have enough time, Prime. Because think about it like this. You might not be able to hit 100K because think about it. I did it the month after my birthday. My birthday's September. I did it October of 2021. After I turned 21, right? So you won't be able to do it as young. However, you can go further than me. That's what I truly believe right now. Deep down, right now. That's what I believe. You could definitely go further than me before you turn 22. You could definitely make, with what I've seen in terms of your notes and your capability, if I'm being real, once the weights are off, it's kind of like if you ever watch what's it called, Naruto, right? Like I forgot this damn kid's name. What, Rock Lee? I think that's his name. It's like when Rock Lee takes off the weights, right? That's exactly what's gonna happen here, Prime. 100%. I already see it. It's like, bro, you're gonna move the stars. I see it already. So yeah, in terms of you turning 21 and you having all this knowledge, brother, you literally, literally running towards the level that I'm at while I'm 25 and you're 21 and you're gaining all this knowledge right now at this level. As long as you don't let time slip for the next couple years, and you have fun, of course. Like don't like not have fun is what I'm not trying to say. Like go out, do your thing, but make sure you get things done to the point where, I mean, yeah, by the time you turn 30, brother, you might never ever need to work ever again. Probably even before you turn 25, if I'm being real. You'll probably be a multi-millionaire by the time you turn 25. But until you turn 22, I think you could make around 500 to like 600. 700 to like 100, or not 100, but like to a million is gonna be it's gonna be a little tough because you're gonna be playing with $60,000 contracts, right? And you're gonna be up 20K here, down 10K here, up 30K here, down 40K here. So yeah, it's gonna be a little back and forth, back and forth. That's usually what it's like. So it's kind of like a slow grind to the next staircase where you're kind of like stepping up to the next step, but then somebody's pulling you halfway down, but then like you're pulling yourself right back up, and then you finally go on top of the next step, and then when you're making your way to the next step on top of that step, again somebody pulls you right back down and you almost fall back down to that step, but again you still pull yourself back up. That slow back and forth, that's basically what it's like to trade. It's just like that. And it never changes. The only thing that changes is that you already expect the type of pullback. You see what I'm saying? You already expect that type of yank in the other direction. You already expect something to not go as planned, which is how I teach. And as long as you could think that way, in theory, it doesn't matter if there's a million people pulling you back. You're still walking up those stairs like it's feathers, you know? Like you have no weight on your back at all. And again, what's it called? Not physically, but what's the damn word? In terms of physics, right? That might seem a little off, right? That a million people is pulling power, you're going to be able to pull up yourself. But you have to understand, in terms of physics, it doesn't also define the capabilities of one person's, ability to plan. For example, what if you have a million people pulling you, but you bought a damn, you know, super attack helicopter and it's pulling you up at the same time. And then you got another, you know, crazy ass flying contraption that's pulling you at the same time at a lower altitude. And you got all these things that are countering that weight that's, you know, pulling you back, which is allowing you to feel like you're walking on, you know, nothing. So in terms of the actual physicalness of it, right? Even if you want to get down to the understanding of what it could mean, even though it might seem off, it can make sense. You can always make anything make sense. That's what I'm trying to say right now. And as long as you could start learning the art of making anything make sense, that's a good book right there. The Art of Making Anything Make Sense. I want to write that down. But yeah, Prime. And remember, if you're following these things right here, Prime, if you look at this, let's just say you followed this one, the 100K one. Well, I haven't fixed it yet, actually. Actually, did I fix it? I fixed up the $4 one. Within 23 days, you could basically be at 100K. Oh, I gotta fix this. Never mind. Don't look at it. It's not done. I could tell. The numbers are adding up differently. Let's just say $1 million, right? I think you're capable of making $1 million. I didn't say 1 million because I'm expecting there to be some type of pullback by the time you know, hit July. Maybe by the end of next year, you could hit, you know, over 1 million. You can even hit this right now. Truth be told, you can hit this within the next 30 days. It's just, you got to unlock the ability, let go of the weight, and just really go for it. That's pretty much it, brother. Next, let's talk about what SPY is doing here. Fell down to number 8, hit it, held, ran up to number 10, hit it, didn't get above it, reflected right off of it, resisted right off of it, fell right back down to number 8, still supporting it, still not getting through it, right? These are the characteristics you want to pay attention to, because if I already held on number 8 once and I'm holding on it again, you're definitely going to probably potentially run up to number 9 now. So if you get above number 9 and you hit number 10 and you hit number 11, you might want to run up to number 12, which is the one thing you didn't do yesterday. So that could be the one difference in terms of yesterday's price action with today, is you run up from number 8 to 12. Still plenty of time today. It's only 1 o'clock, you know? It's still really early. What I want to see happen, though, is counterweight, pretty much. That shift today was so fast to the upside. That drop that we just got was expected because of how fast you ran up. So now what I'm trying to look for is, let's see if we could find where the market's going to do something weird next, where like it's going to be something we can't predict, because that happens. It happens all the time, where it's like we think the market's going to gap up and then it gaps down. It's like the opposite. So sometimes that happens to us, right? But it's the learning of said events that occur to us which allow us to add it to our tool belt, which allow us to never take a loss from it ever again, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's do it. I'm looking for this to drop. I haven't bought the puts yet. So what I'm going to do is that whole entire 5K that we made earlier, I'm going to throw it right back into the market. But I'm going to give this a moment. I'm going to do it around like 2:30 to 3:30. Just in case you want to consolidate and make a mess around here. Yeah, somebody just told me something, and that's crazy. It's crazy how noise can control any man or woman, meaning the layers of obsidian that one has built upon their life from crawling through that cave and cavern this whole entire time, like throughout all these years, intentionally, right? But at the same time, not subconsciously aware. So it's like you could say unintentionally doing it. You could say unintentionally. Like you unintended for that to be the result, for you to get stuck inside that cavern or that cave. But you did the doing of crawling through it. You know what I mean? You're just stuck. The reality is when that person is able to make their way back out, I mean, they're going to ask for help. And if there's somebody near who can, help them, if they're able to finally breach the surface of the water, if they're able to finally get above the surface of it and gasp for air and reach their hand out, as long as there's somebody nearby to grab onto them, I mean, you'll be able to help them. In most cases, what's going to happen, though, there's going to be nobody nearby, so they're just going to go right back beneath the surface. They're going to go right back into the cave because they just got turned right back into a robot now. It's like they're not aware no more. They're not subconscious. You know what I mean? Their consciousness has disappeared from this plane. That's why I feel like most people act like robots. Like they just continue to do the same thing over and over again. And you said you did, and I appreciate you for it. Wait, what? Well, for what exactly? You talking about like just being there for a person? Shit. What is?
We met, it was like a whole different, oh shit. So,
like I told you before, whether or not that cave was vertical, meaning it was just a straight drop, a straight pit, whether or not it was diagonal, and I needed to bring rope and all that stuff, I mean, it was always just there. The second I heard something inside, and that's the reality. That's what I'm trying to say for everybody. You know what I mean? And the fact that you just said I did that when I never realized that, I mean, that means a lot to me, brother. That really does. Shit, even with the boat, right? As long as you got that boat there, the second that person's breaching above the surface, shit, I got bored and got a damn sonar detector, and I was just fishing, and I realized that there's something below the surface. It's not. That's just not a fish, and there's a person coming up above, and it's just being there. That's it. It's not just to try to act like a good person. It's because, I mean, why not? That's pretty much it, honestly. Just why not? And you know what I've seen culinary? I've told Hoover about this. We've had many conversations about this. Like in person. And I've told him, like, most people get stuck in the same cage, like the same level of a game. And no matter how many times you play the new game that comes out, the new update, the core blueprint of how that game functioned is still the same. You know, it's just everything else is a mere copy of it, a mere addition to it. And if everything's a copy of it and everything is an addition to it, eventually what happens is, I mean, you'll get to the last level of that game, of course, right? Now, what my dumbass has done is every single time I get to 99, I just keep resetting. Every time. Why? Because I don't want to get to that last level. And because I kept doing that to myself, I started realizing something. Every game design level is the same thing. It's just everything is a little different. So when you're at the game design end and you have the credits going by, you literally see yourself in an elevator going up to the next level, going up to the next start of the next game. It's kind of like a break room. You prepare yourself, freshen up, eat some food. Think of, an attack plan going into this next level, this puzzle. And you literally, as soon as the doors open to that elevator, you forget about ever being in that elevator. That's what I noticed has happened to many, many, many people I've come across. But when I mention it, every single time, they all tell me how it relates to some part of their life and how they realized it. So it's the oddest reality, It's very, very, very odd. But yeah, that's crazy, right? Everything is the same shit, pretty much. Spy, can you hurry your ass up? Straight through number 8, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we got that at a proper time. That was pretty good. Options are steaming to the upside. We'll get this a moment here. Let's go take a look at Tesla. I want to see if there's any more opportunities here. Also, let's look at some of these positions here for a second. Can I trade gold, please? Pretty please.
Oh, I just reset my combine. Added 2 more.
Was it like an ES trade?
Huh? I said I reset it. I didn't take any trades yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I gotta work on my charts. I gotta work on my MES chart.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm not fucking with ES. Unless you say, hey, I got an ES trade, I'm not fucking with ES. It's like, it's SPX on crack. I'm not doing it.
It is. It really is, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, unless you say it, I'm not doing it. Not taking it.
I'll have to make sure I watch myself now. That's the only reason why I've been trading ES so much, is because I know nobody else is really trading futures. So I'm just like the Tasmanian devil, bro. Just
I mean, I know when you're, I know when you're fucking around, and I know when you're serious. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I see how you trade, and it's like, yo, I know when you're like, fuck this trade, I'm just so good for the hell of it. And I know when you're like, all right, back and forth, we got this shit. And then next thing you know, you done lost fucking $10,000, but when you do the back and forth shit, you didn't gain like $75,000. So I'm waiting for you to be on some back and forth shit.
yo.
Patterns, man, patterns. I watch
Right?
patterns.
That's really all it is. Truly.
Yeah.
That's all it ever was. Yeah, this thing is steamrolling. Keep going.
Oh, I got to do my gold chart too.
Yeah, gold, let me tell you, is amazing. It's insanity. Like right now, I'm gonna use a $6,000 account and let's see how much we can make by 2 p.m. with just gold. All right, let me see. Let me put it on my other screen. Come here. Oh, you want to see something crazy? Oh wait, I can't show it on the screen while I'm live right now, but it's because it shows like my personal information. I don't know how to hide it. But I started charting on this new application called the CME Group, which is a challenge that we're going to be doing in 24 days from now. Because I wanted to learn the platform and like how to buy, how to sell. So currently right now we're up like 40,000. Haven't taken a single loss. And what I did was I created the monthly DART charts. But I used the main one from every month and I created it on top of ES on the 15-minute. And then what I did was I created a bunch of buying points where we could buy and sell using 1/4 points, 1/8 points, 1/16, like the whole entire box. Like, what do you normally do when you're at these areas? Like, what is the normal thing that occurs? After the past 3 months, I now know what's normal. And I basically drew that on the chart for the first time. And I also added no man's land, or added it a little bit better than I did before, where it's a little bit more descriptive. It's kind of like the no consolidation zones that I had created in the beginning when I first started trading or teaching. But this is like more specific. It's based off of just simply data at this point, and only data. So I'm looking at it and I was watching it right now. It's at a green circle. So the market's still, I'll refresh it just to make sure. First, let me save it. This website's like Weeble, bro. If you don't save the shit, it deletes everything. So every single time I fix my chart, I gotta save it. Yeah, it deleted it again. Give me 1 second, let me load it. Good thing I just saved it. I kid you not, you hit the green circle, you ran up, hit a scalp play, fell straight down to the red, fell down below the red, you're hitting the green right now again, and you're holding on ES. So you might just hold here. You might not go up or go down anymore. So give me 1 second. Let me get into this gold trade real quick. I'm thinking gold's going to fall down a little bit more. Let me put the other screen on. Where is it? This one here. Go to gold. GC. So yeah, you did exactly what I wanted you to do here. You fell down to here. I sold it. As you can all see. You can see my buy and sell here. Bought it up here. I bought a put. Sold it here. You then continue to run up higher. Hit the white again, but I was sleeping. You ended up falling straight down to here. And I think you're going to do the same thing as the morning. Which basically means I think you're going to fall down a little bit more towards the end of the day here. That's what you did towards 1 p.m. So I think you're going to copy that. And yeah. If anything, we'll just get margin called. It'll stop us out. And we'll make the money back with another play. Ready, everybody? Oh, we can't buy right now. Why can't we buy? Oh, we already bought. Okay, we're short already. Never mind. Oh no, I was supposed to buy on this account. Not the computer. Okay, we're in, everybody. I repeat, we have locked it in. Now let's go stare at SPY for the rest of the day. We'll check back on this trade in an hour. Okay, let's go over here. So SPY looks like you're going below the VRVP indicator, which is where all the volume is today. If you go below this, again, you're going to fall potentially straight down to number 4 here. If you fall down to number 4, the options that we have are going to be basically almost in the money at that point, which means I'm thinking that they're going to be worth around like $130 here. But again, it depends. If you get above number 8, you're just going to keep consolidating above it for the rest of the day, pretty much. Okay, so what did we accomplish today? We accomplished the schedule this morning. We fixed up that right here. We fixed up this a little tiny bit, not really too much. We got to fix up these categories here, not completed. That's all done. We got to fix up all of these here. We got to delete all of this. And then add, because we already had the Mag 7 here. So for down here, I want to add something else. The YouTube charts. I gotta add the links for it, for those videos from those days where we created it, where it was like live and stuff like that. And then what else? Oh yeah, I gotta add the one-on-ones, a whole section for that here. I could just go here and do this. There you go. So I'm just going to turn this box into the one-on-ones. Just in case anybody needs their video, I could just quickly go to this here and just link it to them. One-on-ones. What else can we do here? So all saved one-on-ones. Link should be at the end. I'm not watching right now. Is this New York session? Don't tell me this is on a different time zone. How the fuck did it go to Chicago? What in the world? Oh, I just realized. The charts that they give me on the simulated account over here, they're all delayed. I can't use these. Now I know. At least now I know now. Alright, that's fine. It's okay. Okay, let's do over here. Let's do this. Let's go over here to spy. So again, you held on number 8. So just like we said before, if you get above number 8, you're just going to consolidate up here for the rest of the day. So we're just going to go back and forth with the bigger account and just keep scalping. Last time we got 5K from number 11 to number 8. This time we're waiting for it to hit number 10. And I want to see what's going to happen the second it does that. Because when it hit number 9, you got above it. You got to note that. If you got above it, it means you could potentially go higher than it if we now fall below number 9 and go down to number 8 again. And you hold on number 8. And then you go back up above number 9. You're just going to go straight through it and go straight to number 10. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is, when you know that the market's potentially able or capable of doing something, what you should do is not get angry when it doesn't do it, but keep following it until it does it. Eventually you're going to see it do it, and you just got to note how many times it took, as well as what was the exact trend that day, news, what was the event, and eventually you're going to, single the exact important thing out that you need to replicate every day, which allows you to make, a crazy amount of capital. Just like how now, like, the market could potentially fall to number 8, exactly what we said. You hold, you get above number 9 right after that. You go straight to number 10, and I can see you going above number 10. Why? Because last time you got below number 10. So I could see you going slightly above it next time, and then potentially getting sold off, just like how you're doing right now on number 9. You're going to do the same thing on number 10. Whatever you do in one location at one time, at one point, you can do at another location at another time, at a whole, another different point. It just depends on, the momentum that day. So, like, let's just say the momentum is drying up right here. What's going to happen is you're going to fall right back below number 8, 7, and you're going to get below number 6. You're going to hit number 5. You're going to stop at number 5. And then you're going to instantly bounce quickly back up to number 8. That's what's going to happen if the momentum is drying off. Because it's kind of like, think about it like this. It's kind of like you're playing, what's that damn game with the damn rope? Tug of war. And it's like while you're playing tug of war, one of those people, if you fall, it's like you can't hold the rope no more. And it's like all muddy and stuff like that, right? So once one person falls, he's like out. So one of the teams loses manpower. So it's like the second that opportunity is shown, the second that there's a weak point, now the other team could use their whole entire force and yank it. You know what I mean? So that's like the reality with the stock market. Sometimes people fall off and there's other people that are just holding it still. When they go and they're done, it's over. Like that was your last, safety mechanism, you could say. And that's the big money. That's, the large pools of capital that get transacted every single day. Like yesterday, the market lost around $1.4 trillion, around that figure. And it potentially was more. But yeah, you lost around $1 trillion just yesterday. And if they told me exactly how much money they lost for that exact move, guess what I have now, Culinary? If they messed up and they just told me that $1 trillion point something dollar move, even though they're probably lying, equals that type of a percentage in terms of the economy, now I have that statistic. So it's like now we could decipher how much money the market is, making, how much the market is going up, how much value you just gained, and how much you just lost before we even get, notified by these publishers from these like news organizations. Like imagine you see SPY doing like a crazy $6 move like how it did today. Like in the morning, there was only one person in the chat besides the people who took notes, which I have to check, but just me scanning the voice chat to see just everybody texting, there was only one person who said exactly where the market was going to go before I had the first like main pullback, like around number 8. And that was something I was paying attention to because when I had, you know, basically started talking around that point, not many people were really kind of like understanding where the market was going to go or what it was going to do. Second hit number 8, we bought puts. It worked out. You ran up higher, ran up to number 9. We bought more for like insurance, like for the side. That we're still holding right now just in case the market like falls out the sky for any reason. We have that on the puts from the top back down to number 8 on the drop. Again, it means everything to me. So, yeah, it's awesome. Today was awesome. I'm very happy about today.
Yeah, Slugo was calling 672 early in the morning, bro. Like, as soon as you guys hopped on, I was like, yeah.
Not yet.
But
That's
he got the charts, bro. He got the charts. He's working. He's in there hour after hour. I see him in there when I'm not in there. You know?
Yeah, bro. He calls me all the time on my personal phone. He tells me what charts he could make that are better. He always is trying to aim for better. No excuses. If I tell him he's wrong for doing something, if I tell him he could have done this better, he doesn't even give his opinion at all. He tries to see exactly where I'm coming from first. He fixes what I'm saying. We test it. If it's not the case, if it's not the scenario, that means there might be another component, right? So it's like to have somebody that's willing to not get emotion or catch feelings because of what I'm saying, and they're willing to work back and forth like a computer. It's definitely something I see inside of Sluggo. That's what I'm saying, bro. He already caught up to people that were here for 2 years. He's like on his combine smacking it out the park right now. Like when I had made 4,000 or 5,000 on my way down, Sluggo was the only person who made 4,000, which is the most amount of money anybody has made today, from what I've seen. And we did have traders before that were making 5, 10, 20K a day, Hoover. But the problem was they just kept, like, they weren't doing what Sluggo was doing. They weren't doing the charting. They weren't really, you know what I mean? They were just trying to take the shortcut. And now I have a lot of people who've been stepping up to the plate recently on the Discord. That's why I haven't kicked nobody out for the past like 2 months, besides those people from August, because they just basically were not really trying to hear me out or learn. They kind of wanted the trades instead of like learning anything, which I understand. That's my other Discord, right? If you just want trades or you don't want to what's called learn anything, that's the $50 one. But this Discord is for learning something. This Discord is not $50 trades. This Discord is 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, and also $4 trades with the goal of hitting, 1 million. So this account has everything. The other one is only $50 trades once a week. So you're barely getting anything. And that's pretty much it. That's the reality of it. But that's how I think, you know what I mean? If I'm going to give somebody something, I'm going to only give it to them in certain areas where I know the market's going to not only perfectly work in my favor, but it's going to be a very cheap trade where it's not going to be too aggressive, where one loss is not going to depict a whole person's, journey. That's why that server is a thing. This server is a little bit more wonky, right? It's a little bit more extreme, but that's the fun part. That's what allows us to actually grow so fast here. But yeah, that's like the difference between them, right? So, like I was saying before, Hoover, to see somebody that was able to actually get to that point so quickly because of pure want, again, that's all I ever wanted. I told people in the beginning, if you can't pay for the Discord, that's fine. Show me you're capable. Show me you want this. That's it. If the capabilities are not there yet, we'll define them. We'll create them. We'll create a certain special select set of tools just specifically for you. But you got to show me you want it, right? And as long as that's the case, I'll give you everything you want. Every single ounce of knowledge that I had. That's the reason why when Slug asks for, anything, any type of trading style now, when anybody else asks me for stuff, I don't like giving them nothing. because they didn't do the work. Why am I going to give you something that's a shortcut? I did make it to help you, but I'm not going to give it to you yet. But with Slug, in the beginning, I did that to him, and I didn't give him nothing. As soon as I saw him consistently improving his charts, and then he started making money within a couple days, I instantly started giving him, whatever shortcut he wanted. Because now he's capable. Now that shortcut's not going to hurt him in the long run. Now he can actually jump a couple levels. Because it's no problem. He doesn't have to go through the repetitions that others had to go through. And that's how people learn. You shouldn't feel bad about that. You shouldn't think that I'm trying to make him feel good about himself. Even though he's not here right now. He can't even hear what I'm saying. But the reality is that different people learn at different paces, and I know that. So what I try to do is I try to create different levels of stuff and formulas so that you guys could follow. And I do that stuff 24/7 round the clock, just like this morning when I was live fixing my schedule, right? And I go live because I want you guys to see that I'm here. I'm not on a vacation. I haven't taken a vacation since January because I've seen that people need help. And I'm not going to take another vacation until everybody around me can take one. Because now that was the only thing that pulled me back down into a certain level of like a mind frame of wanting to change. It's like being on a trip. The only thing I was thinking about was having the people from my Discord on that trip there. So it's like, it was kind of like something I was thinking about. Next time I go on a trip, I don't want to think about nothing. I just want to be in the moment. And I think the one time where I could be in the moment is when everybody is at the same level, So that's what I'm waiting for, everybody. That's why I'm kind of not waiting no more. I'm kind of forcing it now. You're going to have to do it by January. So everybody's changing their life by next year. We're not doing the same thing at all. Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. We shall define a new level. In fact, we shall get to a new horizon. We shall, you know what? We shall get to a certain ability or just level of ability where the journey and the road in front of us that was once dark, that you once didn't have no type of light, right? You're traversing down this damn path in the middle of the night. A damn deer just runs out of nowhere and scares the shit out of you. You're thinking that shit's like some type of creature about to eat you. Then you hear a loud ass car coming down the street and you don't recognize that you're on the wrong side of the street. Right? So it's like there's all these crazy chaotic little events that are occurring while you're in the dark. And that's just what it's like to start something new. That's the act of changing the pattern that you have committed to your whole life, right? Is being on that dark journey by yourself. The reality is that sooner or later, you stumble across a street light. Sooner or later, you stumble across a flashlight. Sooner or later, you stumble across, a city of lights. Sooner or later, you come across batteries and a whole artillery of equipment. Now you got LED lights. Now you got a crazy ass 100-foot flashlight. What I'm trying to say is the road doesn't go back to being dark no more, right? It becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. What you should want for your journey is not just to get a flashlight and walk a road, right? It's not just to get a crazy ass high beam. It's not just to get into a car, let's just say. Even if you're in a car, a fancy car, right? Beautiful lights. You can see 1,000 feet in front of you. You don't want to get into these environments and do these things and cause these patterns to occur without there being some type of a plan behind it. You can't just plan for something, small, because the second you do, you live a whole life full of normalcy. And listen, when I say normalcy and something that's norm, I don't mean crazy, chaotic, you know, whatever you want to call it. When I say normalcy and what's norm, what I'm referring to is simply you being able to grow consistently, but not get stuck, right? That's what's normal. Do people do it, and does society follow it? And the answer is no. So what may be common sense in terms of an understanding or in terms of how society is created, the result and the after effects most certainly don't define the reasoning for the equation in the first place, which basically states the equation is not what it basically says it is. So the way I look at things and the way I look at society and everything around me, it's like you want to have that road become so bright that you kind of lose sight of what that road even once was. You can't even see no more. When that becomes your reality and you cannot see further, which is what happened to me last year when I was teaching, when I created DARP, I told Culinary about this. I was like, yo, I'm getting to the point where I can't even comprehend my own success at this point. And I can only wonder what that's going to feel like when we have the whole community do it. I can't even imagine. I don't even know where I'm going to be stopping at. I don't even know where my last bus stop is going to be at, you know? But the fact that it got to that point, the fact that I was always trying to control everything my whole life, and at this point, I don't need to control nothing no more. I can simply act and be and breathe, and the result of that is simply success. It took a long time to get here. It took a lot of back and forth, a lot of running up the stairs, then going back to try to save people, and then they don't even want to go back up the stairs. Then you spend another 5 months trying to walk up those same stairs that you spent the last 10 years walking up. You're going to do it quicker this time, of course. You'll get back to that same level you were at. But it's like you can't keep going after people until you reach a certain level or, plan where you could carry their weight of them staying at a certain level and point while you continue to head upwards. And you could still be there for them. That's also something that needs to be understood, I would say. It's something that's not understood. So yeah, you have to keep walking up those stairs. You can't stop, I'm telling you guys. Can't keep walking right back down to save people. Just go back up, go 100 flights up. If you're young and you got time and you feel like you have an opportunity, screw it. Run right back down to the first floor. Tell everybody about your experience, see what they say, see if that, they catch the bait. And again, it sounds mean, it sounds manipulative, but it's not. Sometimes you literally have to manipulate people so that you help them succeed. That's the craziest thing I actually ever found out. I hated when people manipulate stuff. It used to happen to me my whole life. Whether it was a female, whether it was, parents, whether it was this, that, right? Family, didn't matter, friends. And I would always see it. And the one thing I started realizing was, I hate doing it, but if I'm truly trying to help people, I do have to breach that one thing that I hate to do, that I hate being done to me. I have to start doing it. That's the only way that I can start helping people. I can't say stuff to their face no more. I had to build a whole, meticulous piece of structure right behind them and not tell them about it. And let the end result be a new level of understanding. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having a TV show and them putting these hidden little things inside that TV show which make you become a certain type of a person, or it makes you be notified of certain ways of thinking or realities or levels of knowledge, or you know what I mean? It just influences you is the idea. And you had to influence by manipulating, unfortunately. And that's the highest level, is what I've seen. That's like the last level. There's nothing you could do after that point. Because after that point, you tried everything. You know, you went above and beyond. And if a person can't change, it's not because they can't. Like, for example, like all those 200, 300 students that I taught before, it's not that they couldn't change, it's that it wasn't time for them to change. Meaning we were just meeting up for that one moment in time in history. And some might pass, unfortunately. Some will, you know, live on. And some will come back, right? And that's the reality of it. Those people that come back, I'm sure the experience that they gained while being on their own is going to be something that's, in my opinion, what I hope, like amazing, bro. You say you sound like the government? I mean, nah, hell no. They don't sound as good as me. Half the shit they say is, you know, just circles of garbage. Honestly. That's also why we don't watch them, honestly. Like for like news and events. Yeah, there's no reason to. But yeah, so like I was saying before, tomorrow the next goal is going to be to have that small class in the morning around like 9 to 12. And then I'm going to be gone from about like 12 to like 3. 4 to 6, we're going to be doing 101s. And then we're going to be going live for the rest of the night privately so that we could fix all of our charts. That's what we're going to do for tomorrow. For today, we're going to do a recap right after 4. We're just waiting for the market to close. We have plenty of trades that we made this week, so we're not going to do nothing right now, honestly. We're just going to take a little break here. If we see another opportunity, we'll take advantage of it. But for now, we're just going to wait. We still have the puts for 667. So I just want to see if this market's going to collapse here again. Just because you ran up so quickly. And then after you collapse and you hit number 4 or 5, we're going to buy into the calls 5-10 days out for you to potentially run up higher. So again, 5-10 day calls. If we fall, sell the puts, buy the 5 to 10 day calls. That's step 2. And step 3 is wait for tomorrow and then sell it. If we run up first right now and you just stay up at the high and you consolidate here, again, we're just going to wait for the end of the day. We're then going to buy a cheap call for tomorrow because last week you gapped up from Friday to Monday. And then on Tuesday, we'll see if we're going to buy some puts at the top. See if we'll get some retracement after you run up and gap up a second time. I mean, you're not really gapping up a second time. Let's be honest here. That would be the first because today wasn't really a gap up. You just ran up. But yeah. All right, everybody. We're going to take a little break here. What time is it? 2:19? Not yet. We've been talking for a couple hours here. You guys got a little recap in terms of what we did today, in terms of what we're going to do tomorrow. At 4, we're going to do the recap for today in terms of like the rest of the trades we did, the specific little elements of it. And that's pretty much all, everybody. So how do I do this again? I forgot how to... I don't know how to do this. All right, let's see. How do we do this? Rigmarole. I forgot what that means. What does that mean? That has to do with like speech, isn't it? Like saying something over and over again, or not having meaning, something like that. Rigmarole. I forgot. Something like that. Did I just sound stupid saying that? It's okay. Sometimes you gotta learn a lesson. Also, I hate how I put $15. It was actually $4. gotta remember that for tomorrow's video. Yeah, $4. Okay, so that's done. That's done. This is done. What else do we have to do here? Yeah, that's all. That's all good. All right, everybody.
Over the past few years, I've traded manually, but recently started to automate my trading using
Something like that. They're watching us. Who told him I was trading? Okay, so we're good there. We did that. I almost just messed up that chart. Let me minimize this before I mess it up more. Good thing I caught that. You're either gonna do it quicker or you're gonna do it slower. So let me see.